Welcome back, everyone, to Coin Bureau Clips. It is time for another Q&A. So thank you to everyone who sent in questions on Instagram. I remember the last one of these I did, I think I was dipping my feet in a pool in Portugal. How things change. Anyhow, thank you again to everyone who sent in questions. The team here have picked out a few for me to answer for you now. So I'm just going to dig right in and get started. Okay, so Mephistos 2012 asks, do you think the bottom of the bear market is behind us? I've seen a few questions on this very topic. I think so. I think we're over the worst of the bear market. I think we could still go lower from here. But I think probably the lows for this bear market are most likely in, and obviously we saw those in the wake of the FTX disaster late last year. So crypto seems to be holding up fairly well in the wake of that. It's had a pretty good year, really, all things considered, despite everything that's been thrown at it. And I think it kind of bore up pretty well under the sort of onslaught from the SEC a few weeks ago, which is obviously ongoing, and that could still throw up some nasty surprises as we go along. Let's not rule out a potential stablecoin crackdown, a potential DeFi crackdown. There are still lots of bumps in the road, but I think probably the bottom for this bull market is in. Let's hope so anyway. Okay, of course, if it isn't in and it does go lower, I know lots of people will be very happy about that because they'll want to buy at those levels. Anyhow, Ellie Kuheri asks, how long, apologies if I pronounced that name badly, how long does it take you to research a crypto project and how do you take notes? It takes me, well, that's a good question because I used to be quite quick. I'm a little bit out of practice now. I haven't researched a particular crypto project in depth for quite a while. Sort of other members of the team kind of handle most of that side of things for me now. So when I'm putting together videos, I'm often kind of focused often on just stories that are going on in crypto or particular macro things. So I'm trying to think back in the day. I mean, I could get most of the research done in sort of 1 or 2 days. How do I take notes? Usually just sort of scribbling down stuff semi-legibly as I go along, quite often sort of copying and pasting links into a document. When you put together one of these things, you also want to be saving sort of relevant links, images, video clips, all that sort of stuff. And a good tip that Dan, our head of research, uses is to, when you're listening to stuff, when you're watching videos or listening to podcasts, listen to it on 1.5 or 2x speed, and that means you can get through it faster. The only downside to that is you end up talking at 1.5 or 2x speed, as Dan does, which is quite intense, but also quite amusing. Okay, so let's have a look, see if these other questions. Luca Hofstay says, I'd love to hear more about the Prometheum company. I also enjoy your laugh. It looks so funny. Looks so funny? I'm self-conscious now. I would love to know more about the Prometheum company as well. It's a fascinating story, that this kind of this entity that seems to be backed, or at least sort of partly backed by the SEC. Fortunately, some of Coin Bureau's finest minds are currently working on that, so we should have something on Prometheum for you very, very soon. It's a rabbit hole that goes quite deep from what I've seen. Okay, Rokas Lomenis asks, if you have 10K to invest in crypto, would you invest only in BTC and ETH long term? Okay, well, I'm going to have to presage my answer to this with not financial advice. But if I had 10K at the moment to invest in crypto, yeah, BTC and ETH would really be all I'm looking at the moment. And yeah, I consider both of those long-term holds. I have no plans to sell any of my BTC or ETH at any point soon. So yeah, that I think is a good way to do it. Not financial advice. Leon Alexis Reyes asks, 1 BTC and 17 ETH. What else am I missing? That's a decent stack, Leon. That's quite well balanced as well. I don't think you're missing anything there, really. Just make sure you've got it all stored securely on a hardware wallet. If you're missing that, that's what's missing. But that's a pretty strong portfolio for these times. Okay. I saw a few of these. Graining33 says you're giving Charles Hoskinson vibes today. What vibes are Charles Hoskinson vibes? Am I giving the vibes of someone who has just gone off looking for aliens? That's what Charles is up to at the moment, and that's one of the things I love about Charles. Like, he's clearly a real eccentric, isn't he? And obviously he's gone, well, we're in a bear market. It's all a bit boring. I'm going to take some time off and go look for aliens in the Pacific. Good on him, I say. I hope he finds them. And someone else says, Daniel Gomez.Godoy says, can you interview Charles Hoskinson? It would be great. Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? I'd love to interview Charles. He's a fascinating character and very outspoken. And, well, I guess we'd have to talk about Cardano and all that, but I really just want to know about the aliens and the bison. That's what I want to know about. Okay, and then a couple on another line. Stefano asks, coming to Italy anytime soon? I hope so. I was going to go in this month, but a few things came up. And then Hugo M. Franca says, come to the Azores, I'll be your tour guide for free. So, Katie, we're going to Italy and then we're going to the Azores. Yeah, it's all lined up. That's our next holiday. Great. Hugo, I'll be in touch. I expect a good tour. Another question, is the bottom near or behind? I've talked about that. Shirley says, could you do a video about the BlackRock ETF? Shirley, your wish is my command. In fact, we put one out a few days ago, maybe even late last week. That's on our main channel. That was a fascinating look at at BlackRock's ETF application, what it means, etc., etc. So do check that out. Fazil4Coin says, why everyone talking about Pepe coin? Explain me as a non-financial advisor, please. Fazil, I just don't know where to start. Are people still talking about Pepe coin? It seems to have blown over a little bit. I was having a really interesting discussion about meme coins with one of my colleagues here just earlier, funnily enough. And we were wondering, I'd seen a press release for some new meme coin that isn't a meme coin or whatever. And we were discussing why they're so popular. And one theory is that, I suppose one of the things about meme coins is no one needs to make any sort of pretense of understanding what they are or what they're doing because they're meme coins, right? They're just there for people to try and make money on. So maybe it's that glorious simplicity of it all. People just, you don't have to pretend to understand blockchain or smart contracts or, consensus mechanism, anything like that. You just go, no, it's a meme coin. It's named after a dog or a frog or some other animal. Just. So, Pepe, I just don't have time. I don't have time. All I say is one of the things that most surprised me about Pepe was that it had taken someone so long to make a meme coin based on that meme, because Pepe is an old school meme. Sorry to interrupt you folks, but I have to let you know about the Coin Bureau deals page. Now, my team and I have been able to pull together some of the best promos and discounts in the crypto space. We're talking trading fee discounts of over 50%, thousands of dollars in bonus airdrops, amazing deals at top exchanges, reduced prices on hardware wallets, and much, much more besides. So just go to coinbureau.com/deals, also linked to below, and find the promo suited to you. Enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, Antonis Prasinos.eth asks, for just Bitcoin cold storage, in brackets only Bitcoin, would you recommend the Trezor Model T or One? Well, Antonis, if you're only going to be storing Bitcoin, then really the One will do you absolutely fine. The basic model, you don't need anything more souped up than that. I think with things like the Trezor Model T and the Ledger Nano X and things like that, these kind of, if you like, these more expensive, these more specced up crypto wallets, crypto hardware wallets, that's kind of what they are. They've just got some extra specs. In a lot of cases, it's more coin support or things like Bluetooth connectivity, stuff like that, a color screen. But really, they do the same job as the earlier models, so the Trezor One or the Ledger Nano S. But if you're only storing Bitcoin, you only need a basic model. They do it very well. Just be careful about anything that exports your seed phrase. Okay. Charlie XBCX asks, thoughts on EOS coin? Thoughts on EOS coin? My thoughts on EOS coin I'm going to put into the form of a question. Okay, so EOS, as some people may know, did a 2-year ICO back in 2015, 2017, something like that, 2-year ICO, and they raised $4 billion. And my question about EOS is, where did that $4 billion go? And I think that question should kind of give you an insight into my thoughts on EOS coin. So I'm just checking are there any other questions I've got time to answer today? Any more about Charles Hoskinson? Saint Callie asks, when are you going to start accumulating altcoin, and which ones are on your watch list? Okay, well, a few people have asked me this. I'm waiting to see a visible kind of uptrend in the market. I'm waiting to see a better sentiment around crypto. I'm also waiting, I'm not holding my breath, but I'm waiting to see some crypto regulations come out in places like the United States before I consider starting to accumulate altcoins. A lot of people will tell you that you could start DCAing, dollar cost averaging, into altcoins now. That is not the worst idea I've ever heard. I know wiser heads than mine are doing that. But I think it'll probably be a few months before I start accumulating any sort of altcoins at the moment. As to what ones are on my watch list, another thing I've said a few times is that I think some of the really big gainers of the next bull market aren't even with us yet. So it's kind of coins that I don't even know are on my watch list. But I'm certainly going to be watching out. I'm going to be watching some of the more sort of old school survivors, if you like. Obviously, I hold BTC and ETH. I'm holding some DOT and Atom. I'll also be looking at things. Two that are definitely going to be on my watch list are Uni and Aave. Because I think they are both projects that have held up really, really well. They've got great teams and great tech behind them, and they earn a lot in fees. So they've got, a solid business model, a lot of development going on both. We've just had the latest version of Uniswap. Aave is working on all sorts of things at the moment. So those are two that are on my watch list. But yeah, I need to really sit down and get my watch list in some sort of order because I've neglected it a bit recently. Okay, well, that's about enough questions for today, folks. Thank you all for sending them in. As I said, I will be back again very, very soon. Lots of exciting stuff happening here at Coin Bureau. So do keep an eye on things coming out here on Coin Bureau Clips, also on our main channel as well. Do check out Coin Bureau Trading, our newest channel. Dan, our TA expert there, is excellent if you're an inexperienced or experienced trader. And don't forget to check out the Coin Bureau Deals page as well. Link in description. See you all again very soon.